Hi, welcome to Lachlan Likes a Thing, a show where I take a thing and see whether or not I like it. Now the thing we're looking at in this video is the Beyerdynamic DT880 full-sized open headphones. Now this review is going to be pretty straightforward since there's already a lot written about this headphone. First we're going to go through the build quality and design of the headphone, then we're going to move on to what I think about the sound, and then how it compares to some of my favorite open headphones, the Audio-Technica AD1000X and the Sony MA900. Now, also since there's a lot written about this headphone, I'm going to try and do this review a little differently from how I normally do my reviews. I want to be able to put out, these videos faster than I currently am, and so one of the things I'm going to try and do is do this review in one take. So I'm just going to keep the camera rolling the whole time. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be any cuts. There might be some cuts along the way, but if this seems a little less polished or a little more kind of fumbly than my other videos, forgive me, just bear with me and let me know how it goes in the comments. Also, if you're a regular viewer to my channel, please stick around to the end of the video because I've got a couple of questions to ask you guys and I want your input. Anyway, back to the DT880. The DT880, this is actually my first Beyerdynamic headphone, and that's really quite funny because as a headphone collector, Beyerdynamic has a huge reputation in the field. Beyerdynamic was the creator of the world's first headphone, essentially, and they're based in Germany. They make exclusively microphones and headphones, so they've been in this game for a long time. This is, as I said, my first Beyerdynamic. This is the Beyerdynamic DT880 250 ohm version. Now there are three versions. There's the 32 ohm version, the 250 and the 600 ohm version. Now there are no physical differences between all three versions except the amount of resistance or impedance on the actual voice coil of the headphone, and I'll go into what that means in a second. Now as far as the build quality goes, I really like the DT880. It's got a made in Germany build, so that means it's just really great in the hand. We have this kind of brushed metal aluminium for the arms. We have metal ear cups. Now some of this stuff is plastic, but a lot of where it matters, this is a semi-open headphone, and a lot of where it matters is actually metal. The ear cups are really soft and plush, and this is actually one of the most comfortable headphones that I've had. Now, it's not as comfortable as the MA900, but I actually do find this headphone more comfortable than something like the AD1000X. So it sits on top of the head. It's quite lightweight. The velour kind of cushions are very breathable, and also the cable is single-sided, and it's really hard to get a very high-end headphone with a single-sided cable, just a cable on one side. Now, there are reasons to have double-sided cables. That's because, in terms of absolute 100% channel matching accuracy, it's better that both sides are physically identical. But for me personally, I prefer a single-sided cable because my headphone amplifier is on the left side of my desk and it just feels a little easier. As far as the cable goes, it's nice and chunky and durable, and it terminates in a 3.5mm jack, as you can see, this adapter, and then it comes with a 6.5mm screw-on adapter as well. So overall, really nice build quality, and it's just a really nicely built headphone. Now, as I said, this is the 250 ohm version, and this is actually the only headphone in my collection where I've actually felt like I should recommend you get an amplifier to use this headphone. I don't normally talk about amplifiers much because most of my headphones in the collection are portable headphones that can be run off most portable players nowadays, or they're full-size headphones with low impedances and high sensitivities, so you don't really need an amplifier unless you particularly want a cleaner signal. Well, with the DT880, the 250 ohm version, I actually have to go up to about almost to 12 o'clock on the dial on my headphone amplifier to get a usable volume. And my amplifier is the Objective 2, so it produces quite a lot of juice, and it seems like the DT880 needs it. So you can still plug this into an iPhone or something. I've tried it, and you can get a listenable volume out of it. Sorry, but in terms of how much load you're putting on the amplifier, perhaps that's a bit too much of a high load. You might get some distortion. It's not the best thing. I recommend if you're going to get the DT880, you should look into the 32 ohm version if you don't want an amplifier, or the 250 600 ohm versions need an amplifier. Now, as far as the differences between the 250 and the 32 and the 600 ohm versions, Tyle over at Inner Fidelity did do measurements where he indicated that there are some differences between the 32 and the 250 ohm as far as the kind of amount of control the amplifier had over the driver was concerned. So the 250 ohm version definitely apparently is a technical improvement over the 32 version. The 600 ohm version was not that much of a big difference, and I personally wouldn't get the 600 ohm version just because you will probably need some pretty serious amplification equipment for that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 250 ohm version. I got this as a used unit from another Headfire, so this is probably well burnt in by now. As far as the sound goes, a lot of people told me that before I got this headphone that I would not like this headphone because I tend to like warmer sounds in my headphones. So I tend to like a smoother kind of sound to the treble and more of a filled in kind of mid bass around the vocals. I was surprised to find I actually really liked this headphone. It is definitely an analytical sounding headphone. It is extremely kind of clean and linear sounding, and the treble, the high frequencies especially, have an edge to them. And it can actually get quite fatiguing after a while. When you listen to it, it does tend to, it can make your ears a bit tired, especially if you're listening to songs that have been badly mastered or have particular emphasis on the high frequencies. That said, I still really loved the way everything was so clean and linear on this headphone. It just comes out, just like a breath of fresh air. Like when you listen to this, it's not exactly neutral, but it's pretty darn close. Now, compared to the other open headphones that I have in my collection, like the AD1000X and the Sony MA900, between this, the DT880 and the AD1000X, the DT880 has better kind of linear bass, so it reaches deeper and it is a bit more punchy in the bass than the AD1000X, and that's where the DT880 really excels. It also has overall more kind of a balanced sound to it. For the AD1000X, I found that the AD1000X, it did have a bit more of a magical quality, I think, to the vocals. So it wasn't as balanced, it wasn't as realistic, but the AD1000X has a particular quality that makes female vocals kind of really sing, and that's the real strength of Audio-Technica, kind of house sound. So if you want more of a vocal kind of forward kind of presentation, I would go with the AD1000X still. I do find that the DT880 is the more linear, as I said, and it's also more comfortable, which is a real surprise. So, between these two headphones, it's kind of a preference thing. Now, I don't have my Sony MA900, which is my all-round favorite headphone, to compare on hand, to compare directly with the DT880, but I can definitely tell you the MA900 is a much more laid-back, more kind of a mellow listen. It doesn't have the same kind of high frequency emphasis that the DT880 has. So if you want more of a relaxed sound, the MA900 is definitely going to be your pick. Also in terms of sound staging, I think the MA900 is just a little more natural and open just because of the very angled drivers on the MA900. And the MA900 is still far more comfortable than the DT880, and that's saying a lot because the DT880 is very comfortable. Anyway, that's as far as it goes as the headphone comparison. I really do like the DT880. Now, at the end of the review, I just wanted to throw a question out to you guys, my regular viewers of this channel. I was thinking about why, I started making these headphone reviews and what are the strengths of doing headphone reviews on video as opposed to written reviews. And I was thinking of maybe switching to a format where I would go through the physical aspects of the headphone in the video part of the review, but do a written review in the description of the video or on other websites, and kind of do the comparisons of sound in a written format. But I'm not sure, I'm not sure exactly, whether that would be a great idea or not. So it'd be really helpful if you could let me know what you think of that, and really why you guys like watching video reviews on headphones as opposed to written reviews in general. So, I really appreciate your input. You can leave me comments on this YouTube video, or you can talk to me about this. I'm gonna make a post on Facebook about this at my Facebook page, facebook.com/LachlanLikesAthing, or you can talk to me on Twitter @LachLikesAthing. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Thanks to everyone who's liked my other videos and subscribed to my channel, and happy listening.